afternoon, guys.
Hi, Dan.
Wanted to start off with some team news. How did the team come through the Brentford game? And do you have any fresh injury concerns ahead of Brighton?
No, we're okay. No one missed training today. Mateus Cunha managed to join in most of it. Some of the boys came out of training slightly early because they obviously played a long time the other night, but everyone was out there. So touch wood, not an injury at the football club at the moment, which is good because, as you can see, we're not blessed with loads of numbers at the moment with a few of the boys away and Zhao suspended. So important that we try and keep the injury record as good as it has been so far.
I know we spoke about it a little bit after the Brentford game, but Nathan Fraser, how close is he, do you think, to making his Premier League debut? And have you made a decision on whether he could go out on loan this month, or do you think he'll stay with the team for the rest of the season?
The decision around if Nathan goes on loan, will just be purely on what we're able to do this month. Everyone saw the other night, he's capable of helping us in certain situations. But he is only 18, hasn't played loads of first team football, so I'm comfortable with that being for us, but also don't want to delay Nathan's progress if we manage to do some business and it looks like that Nathan won't get enough minutes to make sure that he keeps progressing, because he has got a part to play at this football club at some point in the future, and the most important thing for him is how we get in there. So that might be with us for the rest of the season, and that might be starting, that might be sub, or it might be that we look at the numbers and we think it's probably not fair for him to keep him in, and he needs to go and play some football and improve that way. But at this moment in time, he's probably the only number 9 with any senior sort of experience here at the football club. So he definitely won't be going anywhere anytime soon.
Looking ahead to Brighton, faced them very early on in the season, I think the second game in charge. What are your memories of that game? And also, can you see kind of this weekend there's an opportunity to see how far your side have come since then?
I think it'll be another tough test. I think back to the last game, and obviously loads of chances for both teams. Brighton took theirs and we missed all of ours, and then the game got away from us in a sort of 10-minute spell. But performance-wise was nowhere near as bad as the result made it look. Chances created, shots and things like that. It was probably quite an entertaining game until your side's 4-0 down with half an hour left, and then it's slightly less entertaining. But looking forward to it. Big test, obviously, against one of the best managers around. Incredibly well coached side, know what they're doing. Very, very difficult to stop, and especially at the Amex, they're a very good side there. They've beaten some big teams there already, so it will be a real tough test for us. But looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Of course, we got a few away still on international duty, and João Gomez missing, which is a blow to us. But looking forward to taking the lads down there and seeing what we can produce again this weekend.
I want to ask you about one of their players in particular, James Milner, who I imagine you know quite well, played against him a few times in your career. We've spoken in the past about how you've adapted your playing career towards the end, you changed positions. How impressed have you been by James Milner being able to prolong his and again change positions towards the end of his career?
Yeah, and just being able to stay at the top level at that age. It's difficult to play in the Premier League when physically you start to fall away from what you were when you were at your peak. It's really difficult. Like so many people end up dropping down and playing in a level below, because then you can rely on your intelligence and your other attributes, and you can sort of cover up for the fact that physically your powers do start to sort of diminish as the older you get. It's just the way it is. And I haven't seen loads of James play recently. I was in quite a few England youth squads with him, and he always looks after himself incredibly well. The most professional on every trip, and has had an incredible career, as everyone knows. You don't need me to sit here and talk to everybody about how well James Milner's done for the last 20 years. It's been an incredible career that he's managed to have. Won trophies at two of the biggest clubs in the country, and to still be playing at a team like Brighton, who are aggressive and play in big spaces, And for him to be able to cope still the way he does shows how well he's looked after himself and what good shape he's still in. So, yeah, an incredible achievement, and a good move for him as well. Going there under another good coach. I'm sure James will look to get into the coaching side of it. I think he's that way sort of inclined. I would imagine he'll look to go down that route after he's finished playing. So to get to play under Roberto De Zerbi at that stage will be an interesting one for him as well.
Just final one from me. You mentioned after the Brentford game how Pedro came back a few weeks early from his injury. Mateus Cunha wanted to stay on, and he ended up getting the winner against Brentford. And you were really happy with the togetherness of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Just how have you instilled that culture since arriving? Like, what are the key factors or ways you've, just instilled that?
No, I suppose a consistency of messages and making sure that we remind the lads all the time when they fall away from what we expect and what the group needs from them. So, no magic wand, and not saying that they weren't like that already. It was just little bits where I saw of them that I thought we could improve the togetherness, make sure we understand what it looks like to be part of a team, and if things are going well, how do we behave? If you're having a tough time, the team still need you, and there needs to be a way that you still manage to get to your level and help the group. How we respond to setbacks and difficult situations, and still probably not quite where I would like it to be. There's still, as it always is, I wasn't perfect either when I played. You'd still suffer moments of disappointment, and how you react to them is not always perfect. But the lads are doing really, really well. To go 2-0 down, go behind twice the other night again. Managed to fight back. As you say, people wanting to stay on towards the end. The amount of work that went into getting us through to the next round shows where the lads are. The test is consistency, so now we don't have long. We have to dust ourselves down, recover, and go and show that resilience. And because Brighton can make you suffer at times, they have the ball for a long time. So going down there at the weekend will be a real good test for us mentally and character, and it'll be a real good test of just where we are as a team at this moment. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you.
Hi there.
Hi.
You said Mario and Pedro probably played more minutes than you anticipated the other night. Are they both able to start a game for you in the Premier League?
Yeah, I would say they're both available to start at Brighton. Pedro's probably slightly further along than Mario in that, probably. Just he's built his up over a little while now. Pedro, we've taken our time with him, tried to get him to this spot as safely and as sensibly as possible. Mario obviously missed a lot of training with the team. He worked hard on his own while he was away. Got some good work done, but it's never quite the same. And I think he felt tired after his 65 minutes. I think he ended up playing the other night. But we get another 3 or 4 days training into him now before the next one. So he'll be fit to start definitely, and then let's see how long he can last.
How's he been since he's been back, Mario?
Yeah, really good, really good. He's obviously a tough thing to go through, especially I know the sort of the role that he'll look to play within his family and that, and he'll take a lot of it on himself and want to make sure that everyone's okay, which is sort of the role that he takes up here as well at the football club. So he obviously spent a good spell of time with his family to making sure that everyone was okay and that he felt ready to come back. And then when he arrived back, he was ready, and he's ready to work now. And I was excited to get back to it. And we're pleased to have him back.
Is he one of your I know he's part of the leadership group here. Is he kind of a bit of a coach on the pitch for you? You look at Brighton with Lallana and James Milner, as we've touched on, who've got that expertise and experience, maybe looking to get into coaching. Is Mario one of those guys?
Yeah, I don't know if he'll look to get into coaching. He'll probably be offended that we even ask him because he still feels young and fresh and ready to go. But yeah, I try to get all the players like that. I like all of them to have an understanding if I can, which is why I try and spend so long with them, so it's that all of them understand it well. But Mario's definitely one who's, he has a real good intelligence of what we're trying to do. He's well respected in the group, so he's good at delivering and carrying messages for the team, as quite a few of the lads are. But Mario is one that you can definitely rely on from the sideline to make sure the lads know what sort of direction we're trying to go in.
From a coaching perspective, for you and your team, how much do you relish this game with Brighton. You've had a warm weather training camp. I know you've had the FA Cup replay to contend with, but when you're facing someone that you obviously admire and you've faced a couple of times before, how much of a challenge do you relish this one?
Yeah, no, I do. I always look forward to playing against the, or every game really, but when you come up against a top coach or a top side, always really good to see where we are and what we can achieve, and it will be a good test. It will be. They're very, very good at what they do. They've been doing it for quite a long time now, and even before Roberto went in there, they had a similar way of playing. You know, Brighton have been on this sort of journey for quite a while now, sort of progressive coaches and try to dominate the ball, and of course Roberto's freshened it up and improved it even more, and impressive again to keep it going this year, having sold a lot of talent in the summer, similar to ourselves really. I think us and them were the two sides that sort of made the most sort of profit in the summer from player sales. So impressive that they've managed to keep it going, and I do look forward to it. I think the lads will be looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing, because there will be spells of it that are tough for us, tough place to go. They'll try and dominate the ball, so just watching the players and seeing how well we can respond to those spells, and then when we have our spells, how good we are at making sure that we have some dominant spells in the game as well. So yeah, looking forward to it. Will be a test, of course, but we're in a decent spot, 5 unbeaten now, I think, in all competitions. So looking to go away and try and add another away win in the Premier League, which is always special because they're so hard to come by. Yeah, no, I don't really look at the points too much. I know that there's a few above us now that we're closer to, but yeah, not really looking at points. I mean, we all know the sort of remit when I arrived was just to, could we keep the squad that we had in the Premier League without too many new arrivals, and that was what we set out to achieve. It still is. As I said, I want the fans and people around the place to dream and think a lot bigger than that. But inside here, we're focused on the next game as always.
Finally, as you said, you lined up alongside James Milner for England under-21. So, are you pleased to see him still playing? Is that?
Oh yeah, delighted. He's it's a big achievement. I know I managed to play till fairly old. Retired with a serious injury, but obviously you normally start to drop down the levels, and that James is still playing at an incredibly high level for how long he's been out there and playing, and it's testament to how good he is, how well he looks after himself. So yeah, if there was an example, obviously I've got a young boy who enjoys his football, 9 years old, and James Milner would be a fantastic one to point out to him around how you maximise and get the most out of yourselves. He's a real good example. Okay.
Mike? I'm sending players out on loan, like you were talking about with Nathan Fraser. Do you know which clubs you prefer? Are you looking for clubs who play a similar style to you if you've got young players like that, not necessarily who might be going in?
Yeah, no, there will be a lot to consider if and when people leave on loan. Not always do they play a similar style to us, just what everybody needs. You know, there might be, not going to use anyone as an example, but if you've got a centre back that you want to improve with the ball, you may be tempted to send them to a team that has more of the ball. If there's one that you want to see a bit more rough and ready, and send him to a team that's going to defend and is going to have to scrap, and so lots of things that are considered when you decide where to send people. And yeah, as I say, we're not planning on sending too many anywhere at the moment because, with the boys being away and international duty and Zhao being suspended, still a lot of under-21 players making up the match day squads at this moment. So as it is, I'm happy to be working with a group as they are. They're in a good spot. Keep trying to maximise what we can get out of them, and everyone playing their part.
And I know you will know there's a lot of excitement about the club as to what comes next after Brighton. I assume that's not a problem for you and the players at the moment, though.
Yeah, no, not even a consideration. Just let's go and give everything to get what we can out of Brighton, and then we'll arrive back the day after at the training ground, and we'll start to get ready for the next one, see where everyone is physically, and start to prepare for FA Cup 5th round. And I spoke to the lads a lot around the FA Cup already. this season, and us wanting to get as far as we possibly can in it, whatever that ends up being. And of course the opponents in it makes it mean a bit more to the football club and to the supporters. But for us, a really important game before then that gets our full attention.
That's it for broadcast. So if you turn the cameras off, please. And then chaps on the front row. Anybody? Any questions?